Hello, everybody. Today we're starting with a reminder 2024 Final Four tickets are on sale this Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central European Time. Um, some of us, including myself, we're going to be a day earlier trying to get the tickets on the pre sale at the same time on Monday. Fingers crossed, whoever is planning to visit Berlin for the May 24-26 finds ticket easily. They can go really, really fast. And Euroleague is only allowing resales through their own portal, so you cannot really resell them into the, let's say, black market as it was happening back in the years. So the prices are pretty much set. You cannot buy a ticket and sell it for gold. But I think the value of the tickets will be gold. However, we don't really know who will be in the final four. Who will be going there with Real Madrid? As you can see, for another fixtures, we didn't have a lot of changes. So apart from the first three teams that they've been, obviously flying above the rest, so Real, Barcelona, and Virtus Bologna, we have pretty much again everyone from the fourth position down to the 12th within one win away. And then just one below, we have Bayern at the position 13. So everything really is open for the play-in tournament and even for the placements into the first guaranteed six positions for the playoff. So we're going into a double round week, and things are going to be perhaps a little bit different after these two fixers and the next week's fixers. So getting into 2024, we're probably going to have slightly better picture of who is going, more hot for the playoffs.
But let me add, Bill, this point that we have some changes already, and I'm referring to coach changes because you said hot. So, coach to this was released from Fenerbahce this week, and Saras is back in Euroleague. So Saras Geskevich is the new coach of Fenerbahce until 2026. I think he signed a deal. So, not new kid in town. He's quite experienced. But we see a lot of rumors regarding coaches. We will see how this goes. But the first change is a fact.
And Fenerbahce had 5-0 at home, positive with Itudis. Their problem was playing away. And on the first game, Saras managed to continue that streak, and just with Real Madrid, the only two teams undefeated at home. So Fener is at the 11th position with 7-7 at 50%, and still is all in for the playoff fight.
And you see also, as you see in round 15, again, Fenerbahce is playing at home. But we see some more interesting games. For example, Virtus versus Olympiacos will be a very exciting game, I believe. Virtus Bologna at home, you get the vibe from the crowd. Even two games before, I think Barcelona had the lead, but Virtus came back. They never give up at home. They never give up. So, they get the boost from the crowd. And in my opinion, watching the games, I believe Virtus is a definition of a team. this year so far. Whoever gets in, he just knows what to do and how can perform to help the team. So Virtus Olympiacos is a game to watch from round 15. Um, and then also we have Monaco versus Panathinaikos. So the big names will be in this game. Mike James is playing, Lesor from Panathinaikos. So I think will be a good game to watch. Not the exact, atmosphere at home that you expect uh, compared to Virtus home court, but Monaco is having a great team this year.
Yeah, definitely have a great team, and even though Walker was never talk the talk, as the Americans say. So they still have though the first scorer in the league and one of the contenders for the MVP, Mike James, flying off from the start of the year, having amazing games, and they should get stronger as they go. I think there are a couple of more games perhaps that would be interesting, as Maccabi versus Baskonia and Valencia versus Partizan. But I wanted to add in general for this round that it is quite difficult to choose a coach. It is really tricky because many favorites are playing away at home, and I see quite many games being dangerous in terms of the timing of the year that they happen, and in terms of the form of different teams.
And can go either way. Both teams have chances to win. It can a shot can change the winner in these games. But as Bill mentioned for the coach selections, um, one of the coaches that we suggest for this round is Coach Grimau from Barcelona. Barcelona is playing away versus Alba Berlin. They had last game didn't go the way they wanted. It was a home court defeat versus Olimpia Milano, but now in this round they can bounce back and win in Berlin. So Coach Grimau is the first option. Then we have Saras, as we said. Saras is back. Fenerbahce at home, as Bill said, they're undefeated. So why not continue this strike uh, with new coach, new mentality, fresh air, let's say, in the locker room. So Fenerbahce has also the talent and the quality to win this game. And the third coach is Coach Messina, that we believe Olimpia Milano can win versus Asvel. Is a tricky game. It can go. It's as Bill said about the games that can go either way. This is one of the games because simply Olimpia Milano is so unstable this year. Like they won in Barcelona, but the game before I think they lost, if I'm not mistaken. So you never know what to expect from Olimpia Milano. Of course, they have a lot of injured players, so this is a main reason for not performing so far. And on the other hand, you have Asvel, Coach Pacheco and his guys. They can, they just go in the court and enjoy the game. But these are the coaches that we recommend for this round. Bill, you want to add anything?
I'm just thinking about the Fener Zalgiris game that we mentioned before. Also, Zalgiris was one of the teams that there was a whole coach rumors about Max Vitis, but of course we don't know what exactly happened. But Max Vitis stayed, and Gonna the Zalgiris front office is gonna continue with Makritis. That to be honest, he has done a very decent job as long as he's coaching the team. So it's interesting to see how the whole team will bounce back. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have a 2-8 last 10 games. Yeah, they have, as you can see here, 2 wins and 8 defeats. So a difficult time for Zalgiris. So that's another tricky game as we were talking about earlier. But we can move on to the second part of this double round week. And here again, I would say it's a similar situation with quite many games can go either way. We can see nice games. Of course, the best game that stands out, the Real versus Partizan, the replay of last year's playoff games.
Let me add
We
that.
also have,
Let me add Yabuzel is injured. I'm just saying a
yeah,
name. No, nothing. Just a name.
Yabusele is injured and Exum is playing in the NBA with Luka Doncic. So another connection between Real and Partizan. And then another nice game is the Anadolu Efes Baskonia game. Interesting to see Baskonia getting even more away wins. We know that Baskonia used to be a home winning team, but this year is a little bit strange as they have won 4 games and lost only 1 away from home. And on the other page, you have a face that they are 5-1 positive at home, so a good class there. And then, of course, an interesting game is Zalgiris Barcelona, for many reasons. And finally, I think we have Armani, Milano, Panathinaikos, Athens, another interesting one to watch.
That's true. That's true, Bill. As you said, these 2 rounds, this double week, the Brown week, has many games that can go either way. They're unpredictable. But let's see the coaches for this round. Again, we say Saras last round. Saras is another candidate for this round as well, round 16.
So to add on this, we are just going against Albon both the double round week. We're sorry to all our German friends, but they have a difficult schedule right now.
I mean, to be honest, Alba is they're going, let's say, total rebuild this year. They're in rebuilding mode, and also they had some injuries, the injury bug. So it's not that they do not have quality players, it's just that I don't know how many trainings they had altogether. So chemistry plays a role as well.
They do have quite many players though from the previous years, just to verify around your comment about rebuild. So they still have quite many players from the last years, but perhaps you would want to see more of players like Procida, for example.
Yeah, I mean they lost quality players, experienced players. Like now you can see Procida playing, but they lost Jalen Smith, for example, that went to Virtus.
Yeah.
So and also at center position they lost Ben Lammers. So they kept, as you said, that's true, the players, but also they lost experienced players.
And mainly Modulo, right? Yeah.
Modulo, Luke Sigma as well. So
yeah,
that's why they need time, I believe.
Yeah.
Then we have coach Sasa Bradovic, the coach of Monaco. Bayern is playing in Germany versus in Munich versus Bayern. Um, it's a tough matchup. Um, it's we pick Sasa Bradic, but this game can change, you know, in a second. We just believe that Monaco has the quality, has Mike James, so he can fire it up any moment, and he can go from 5 to 15 in a span of 2 3 minutes. So uh, that's why we go with Sasa Brozovic, mainly on the quality of the team, and the potential to get the W. And lastly, we have Coach Ataman from Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos playing versus Olympia Milano in Italy. Um, Today there were some news that Rizzi, the forward, is injured. He will miss 3 weeks, so he's out 3 weeks. And Voigtman is, you know, has some. I don't remember the exact injury, but he's feeling discomfort. So he is, questionable playing versus Panathinaikos. And to add, the injuries of Mirotic and Model. So a lot of key players are missing for Coach Messina, and Panathinaikos has a big roster with quality players. So in this game, again, it can go either way, but we believe Panathinaikos will win, will get a W in an away game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just looking at that, actually, they're all great games, even the Valencia Virtus. And also, we were really thinking about Maccabi and Katas for coach. But then, if you think about it, they're playing in the previous home court of Cervena Zvezda. So, Cervena Zvezda maybe it's not so much of visiting teams. Yeah, quite a tough double round week. Um, so let's move on then to our teams and let's see how we did. So our main team, the AlleyOopDunks, had a tough fixture last one. We did great with Sferopoulos with very low credits and plus 20. But apart from that, and apart from one of the most stable players in the league, Kenkelia, we pretty much had a great blood with for 15.4, but everyone else, I think, especially these three players on the left, unfortunately, they have games, very mediocre games. And of course, the big disappointment for us was Mitrovic. Perhaps that was, um, one of his worst, the second worst game this year in terms of fantasy points. So, yeah, we didn't have an excellent week. We have some good, amazing results from Jackson with just for credits to give us 14 points. But in general, even though Captain Vessel in the second round helped us a little bit to win a little bit back from Campazzo, still, I think anything around 150 is not great. It's just okay. So with that in mind, we're starting from the coach again, as per usual. So we're going with Grimau, so we're spending a little bit more um, instead of Sferopoulos. And in order to be able to do that, we decided that we have to sacrifice Campazzo. Not that there are huge chances he's going to explode, Campazzo, and there's huge chances after 2 3 games that he's been very mediocre that he suddenly explodes. This will happen. When exactly we don't know. Could happen with any opponent because Campazzo is just such top tier player. But with that in mind, and mainly because we want to get Lesort back into our team after a while, We had Vesely out, Mitrovic out, of course, after the last showing, and we are getting Mitoglu and Lesort, and then on Carpazzo position we're getting Wilbekin. I'm thinking around Wilbekin, watching also the first game of Saras in Fener is there is that Wilbekin could have a similar role with La Provitola in Barcelona. And what I mean with that is that he could be the player that will have the freedom to call plays and to actually get a little bit out of the system. We know Saras is a coach that he's really strict with his plays. He doesn't want his players to think
Deviate.
something out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he has completely different mentality with what he had as a player, because whoever remembers, the free spirit he had as a player, that's what we all loved about him. As a coach, he's really, really strict about it. So La Provitola was the one that was allowed to actually have his own plays. And perhaps Wilbekin will be, is our bet here that Wilbekin will be the one that will have the freedom with the ball um, to do this plays. So it's at 11.1. If that happens and if he continues playing like this, then perhaps it's also a good investment. Now, this is something we need to test because, as you can see from the past, while he was with the Italy's coach, he has his ups and downs. I mean, usually we know Wilbekin, he's well known for these ups and downs, so he can give you 25 and then a very small a return and then another 25. So let's see how it goes, but he's playing again at home, so it would be a good test. And with these credits we have, we thought it was, is the best solution. So Sengele is our captain for the first round, and then we have quite a lot of solutions, especially around Mitoglu, Lesort, and Wilbekin on the second round. And of course, our other two players that remain in the team, Jackson, we bought it for 4, nice at 4.4, and Getraitis, they both remain as the fillers. And that's all for that team. Do you have anything more to add, Konstantinos?
No, only what you mentioned towards the end. Now that because we wanted to bring 3 quality players, that's why we sacrificed Campazzo, and we had in mind of we wanted to bring Lesor, but also we didn't want to bring a forward with less possibilities of giving us more fantasy points as we expect from it all. So that's why we bring Wilbekin in this case to create this combination of guard and forward. But let's see the other team, the deep value team. I think the last round was not the best round we had, so yes, you can show it, but I think it will be error 404. No, it's found. So yeah, so you see this happened. You see Osmani has minus, coach Berzokas gave us minus, so and Bortolani also. So we start with minus almost 8 points. And then you see Milutinov, big names. For example, Milutinov gave us just 9. And then Luvavu Cabarro just 8. Same with almost same with Hezonia. So we didn't get what we expected to get. Mainly only 3 players performed, Bellinelli, Pander, and Larkin, to the level that we wanted. So we had to make some big changes. Otherwise, we saw that we'll see the same story in this round. So first of all, we changed the coach. So we brought in Coach Messina. He's playing versus Asphalt, so it has some good possibilities of getting the W at home. And also this move with Coach Messina, it's 7.2 credits. We didn't spend, for example, 8.1 as we did for Coach Grimau. And then instead of Sorkin, we brought in Dunston. Dunston, despite his age, he shows his experience on the court when he gets the minutes. So with 7.2 credits, I mean, you cannot expect something, you know, as for example 20 fantasy points or more. But he gets the playing time, as you see, and he has the experience to deliver on the court. So as you see also in the last games, he had only one game minus. So Dunston was the first option we had, and then we want to bring in a big name. So instead of Luvavu, we brought in Shields. We believe he is the go-to scorer for Armani without Mirotic in the team. So as you see, he is yes, after round 8, he just exploded, and uh, he's going full speed ahead. With the less fantasy points is the 17.6 versus Barcelona last round, but still, you see, if you get 17 points with 14.5 credits, you're on the plus. He will get the minutes for sure because he's the go-to scorer for the team.
And I add on that
Yeah,
at the start of the year we're saying is his time, um, because he had all these serious injuries in the past, and hopefully if he gets a whole year, he can show off his quality. From the start of the year, as you can see, he's a consistent scorer. All double digits except of this one not good game with Valencia that he had also smaller playing time. He's really good, and um, I think without Mirotis, his contribution in the team, together of course with a couple of more players like Mail, etc., is very very crucial.
yep, that's true. That's true. Imagine if without Shields, then I don't know who can score, who can keep up the score for money, for example. Um, and the last change we made is we brought in Nibo instead of Milutinov. With 11.9 credits, he had a good game last game. He's playing versus Basconia at home. So, despite the fact that Basconia has a lot of senders, Nibo, he's grabbing the rebounds and he's very energetic player, and so he can get the rebounds and also blocks and score as well. So mainly we changed both our senders, Milutinov and Sorkin, to Nibo and Dunston, and instead of Lovavu, we brought in Shields, and we kept Panther, Bellinelli, Hezonia, and also Larkin. So for the first round, as you see, our captain is Panther. For the second, we have Larkin or Shields, depending what we choose. Um, but as you see, also this team has also the star players that can get a lot of fantasy points in this round. Hopefully, more than 100 in total.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see. It's gonna be exciting double round week, and I guess we're gonna talk about the next round, the next rounds after the double week, after the Christmas table. So everybody have a Merry Christmas and see you next week.
Yeah, guys, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the turkey or anything you want to eat, and the games. Have a great double week.